What is going on, YouTube? Smashing Pumpkin here, coming at you guys with a report from the 150th YCS in Columbus, Ohio. I decided to play at the event UA, and I had a decent record. I did slightly better than I expected, which was going 4-2-2. I thought I'd do less than 3-3, which I guess I exceeded my expectations, although I didn't make day 2, which was my main goal of the day, was to try and do that. But regardless, I had fun at the event. I met a ton of cool people. I got to meet up with all of my YouTube friends, which is fucking awesome because I love them to death. And yeah, I guess I'll get started with the deck profile. Oh shit. Oh well. So midfielder, Rhoda, and UA signing deal, all to get to midfielder and all of your other UA monsters that you play. And stadium and terraforming to like combo off, just gain advantage, etc. And then offensive monsters, you played 3 Rivalry Bounder, 2 Slugger, and then 1 Dreadnought Dunker. And to complement those, you played 3 Stormforth and then 2 Power Jersey. Yeah, that's how you just kind of win your games, essentially. And then you play for your defensive monsters so that your opponent doesn't kill you during their turn. Play 2 Perfect Ace, 1 Blockbacker, and 1 Goalkeeper. And for additional normal summons, or summons in general, I played 2 Career Bandit, 1 Tour Guide, and then 1 Scarm, which kind of help you go through your deck a little bit more, get to your midfielder, and yeah, just kind of do stuff. And then also defensive cards, I played Triple Mind Crush, and then Double Penalty Box, and then 2 Effect Failure. So that was just kind of how the deck ran. It was more geared towards winning a little bit later in the game than most of my decks, and was kind of like built to like out attrition Necros, which was not a good strategy because Necros players are all really slow. So I went into time a ton, which is why I got 2 draws. But that was partially my bad because I didn't really make like a great game plan for Necros. My side deck was 2 Rivalry, 2 Shadowmere, 2 Royal Decree, and then 2 Imperial Ironwall, and then 2 Turnover Tactics. This was mainly for Necros, but I was also putting against like Shadal, stuff like that. And then 3 Space Typhoon and 2 Fairy Wind for Clifforts and annoying back row decks. So this was kind of the main deck. My extra deck was kind of irrelevant during the day, although I did borrow a few things from friends, which was really nice of them. So I guess I'll just go through what I had borrowed, which was 1 Saber Invoker, 1 Nightmare Shark, 1 Mechopin Engineer, 1 Ghost Trick Alucard, 1 Zenmaines, and 1 Dante. I didn't really have a ton of rank 3 stuff, so I was able to borrow those from friends, which is nice. But I never summoned Tour Guide throughout the entire tournament, so that kind of sucked, so I never was able to make them. And I never made a rank 4 or anything. In fact, like one time I was just like in such a terrible spot that I wish I had played like Synchros so that I could just get around a board, which was hilarious because that should never be how you think, ever. So my matchups super quickly. Round 1 I play against Shadal. I get him really badly game 1. He tries to max C me to scare me off from doing my OTK. And I just go through it anyway, and he doesn't stop me. And then game 2, he locks himself out under his own secret village, so he isn't able to play any of the spell cards that he draws, which is kind of funny. And then round 2, I play against Necros. Game 1, he gets me really good, and then game 2, he sets up a Jhin lock. I managed to Stormforth out the Jhin, but he still has like plays afterwards because he did like the Valkyris off of the Kaleidoscope kind of play, where he's able to like get to his Jhin with 5 cards in his hand, which is super annoying. So it's continuing to be back and forth even after like I did my thing. And we ended up going into time, and I had slightly higher life points in time even though he had like dominating board presence. And I managed to get that game, which is really thankful for that. And then that would force the draw. And then round 3 I played another Necros. He gets me good game 1. I try and think, I thought that I had an OTK on board. I didn't, which really sucked because I didn't go for it, but like he would have had like 300 life points left, and I was just like, that's not worth it So I don't go for it, and then I end up dying anyway, which really sucks. And then game 2, I get locked under like a super weak Shin, but I just don't have anything to get around it. But that match was interesting because one time I had a rivalry up, and he tries to go for a mirror play that wasn't the cycle. So I decided to just kind of like go through what he had searched already, and I decided to Mind Crush Bionic because that was the only warrior they had available to him because he had the Colossal still on board. So I kind of went down to him having a Bionic or a Colossus or a second Trishula, and I thought it was more likely that I had a Bionic because he hadn't played one yet. So I Bionic that away, and I got it, which was kind of funny. And then he couldn't ritual summon, but I still lost that game anyway, which sucked. But he was a super chill guy, and I was glad that I played against someone cool. Round 4, I played against Shadal. I 2 him in like 5 minutes, which is really funny. He just never does anything relevant. And round 5, I play against Necros. He OTKs me game 1, and then game 2, I deck him out in time, essentially, which is hilarious, I guess. And because, once again, like, I thought that people would, like, scoop when they were under, like, a rivalry and an Imperial Iron Wall. However, that was not the case, and he just kept on deciding to, like, play it out, which I guess was fine. Not really, because we ended up tying. And, like, at 1x12, like, you can't really, like, top 32 anymore, although you can still day 2. So maybe I should have dropped at that point, but I decided to just keep on playing, just to try and make day 2, essentially. And round 6, I played against Ritual Beasts. We both brick all 3 games, which is funny, although he had beaters game 1, and then game 2 and 3 I had beaters, so like that was kind of how that match went, which is hilarious because both our decks like are supposed to like combo off and do cool things, but we don't. Then round 7, I play against Necros. I managed to get that one, even though like I was like kind of at my wit's end at this point. Like I'd been through like so much like crap throughout the entire day, so like I kind of go off on my opponent afterwards. I did apologize later, but like I still felt really bad about it. But I kind of crushed him in game 3, which was really funny. And then in round 8, I play against Volcanic Star Seraphs, which is not a good matchup at all, unfortunately. And he kind of like nuts on me both games, so there was not a whole lot to say there, except like my final loss was to the Volcanic Star Seraphs. Oh well. All in all, I had a really fun time at the event. I managed to meet all sorts of cool people. Gage, Cordero. I managed to talk to Doug for all of 5 seconds, which really sucked because he was like hella busy the entire weekend, and like I went there with my friend Cisco, and like he wanted like nothing to do with any of my friends, which really sucked. But anyway, that was my video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm signing out. Bye.